Yesterday could have been not very good for Shiba Inu and other retail driven assets in the space. And yet, despite the overreaction by the crypto market, what we've seen Shiba Inu actually do is essentially reach its reset point, this point where it can, in fact, plant its feet in the ground, where they're showing us right now where this basically bottom is in terms of SHIB. And we might start to see a pump out of here. Now, this isn't a guarantee or financial advice. And what we're seeing right now across the crypto market is actually something we have seen cycle after cycle. And I want to show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. So if you're new or haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below, hit that bell again. It's free to do. It'll keep you updated anytime there's new content live here on the channel. So over the last 24 hours, SHIB has actually been, we'll call it pretty calm. Pretty modest drop. Right now, SHIB is about where it started yesterday. And what's interesting is the max point of drop yesterday was only down about 3%. That was actually one of the least drops, one of the smallest drops in the crypto market. And we've had a bounce back. Right now, for example, if we look at SHIB over the last 24 hours, down 0.25%. All right. Not that big of a deal, not that much of a change yesterday. And what everybody was basically freaking out about was the FTX news, right? The FTX distributions. So much capital, blah, 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 so much assets entering the market, when it turned out to be a nothing burger. It was not a big deal. And what it was higher up entities trying to shake people out of their positions yet again. And guess what? The market's gotten to this point where it's falling for it less and less and less as time goes on. I talked about this in my ADA video, and what it's feeling like is something very similar to what we were doing back here in January, as we were trying to, again, plant our feet in the ground and prep for the breakout. You guys can see SHIB doing, I mean, it's crazy how similar this is, right? Exactly what we're doing right now. Almost the drop and everything, right? Like, look at this time frame wise, maybe slightly shorter time frame, but that's what we're doing, guys. All right. Funny enough, it lines up actually with this break box, or with our discount zone that we're in, right? But you guys get the point, right? We've seen this before. We've seen them try to manipulate the market and manipulate people into doing certain things. And luckily, people aren't buying it anymore. What we did get over the last 24 hours was another day of whale adding. Go figure. They've been taking advantage of discount after discount after discount. And what it looks like Shiba Inu is doing right now is basically creating this double bottom. I saw a viewer actually comment about this, and actually this reset point article talks about this as well. And SHIB is in fact trying to create, essentially, it's actually more of a triple bottom than anything, right? And SHIB is showing a lot of support in these ranges. It's kind of funny because, I've seen a lot of comments talking about, oh yeah, SHIB's going to get down to 401. It's going to get down to 50 something. And nothing in these charts show us right now that we're getting anywhere even close to that. In fact, this would be the point where I would say that SHIB looks like it's going to plant its feet in the ground and try to make a stab at breaking its trend. Look at how close it is to the top of its trend. Now, I understand that it's narrowing in this big descending wedge, right? But it's hanging around the top here because SHIB is showing a lot of strength, a lot of conviction from the holders. And when it starts to make this move again, like we talked about yesterday, this is the one where it can, in fact, get very explosive. Now, what I talked about yesterday on Twitter was something that I think everybody needs to hear. I said, since the December peak and price drop, we've had both good news and bad news. Which narrative do you more side with? It's an obvious answer. And the question is do you fall for the short-term bearish news, right? DeepSeek, Trump and Melania meme coins, the tariff and liquidation event, potentially FTX distributions, right? Or are you looking at the bigger, broader structure and where the crypto market is headed, right? U.S. pro-crypto embrace, SEC overall, digital asset stockpile, institutional enterprise adoption, mass adoption on the way. These are big things that are going to move the market cycle move the market for years to come. And I think that a lot of times this falls on deaf ears. People forget how big these things actually are, how big of an embrace this actually is for crypto. And what we're dealing with right now is just a little bit of the shuffle that happens inside the cycles, right, on a very small scale. And what's interesting here is people seem to forget that we're doing exactly what we've done in cycles past. And I can show you guys this. So we look at the total three. I did do this drop yesterday. either we're doing one of two things, right? We're either going to see us fall to zero and we're going to be really sad, or overall we're going to see things surge and we're going to be very happy with the outcome. And this is the one I'm more side with, right? And there's a reason why this is the case. So right now on the total three, what we can see is, we had this breakout to new highs in terms of the overall market cap of alts, very exciting thing. And now we're just kind of testing this, right? We're retesting these prior cycle highs, and we're waiting to see, are we going to make this next leg? And guess where we did that exact same thing? Back here last cycle. We had our breakouts actually right at about the same time, entering February, right? Came back down, retested, dropped actually even a little bit below here. And then we went, right? Same thing, same time frame. Guys, we're rhyming from last market cycle. It may look a little different, right? The time frame looks a little different. That's because we got here so aggressively, so early on. Because again, we did in fact cross this in December instead of February, right? So it's just taking longer to do the exact same thing. That's why it seems more painful. That's why, the market hasn't really broken out yet. We're testing strength and support around these levels. And actually what's interesting, we didn't quite get to our 20-day moving average here because it was so distended. Is that the right word? I think that's the right word. It was so far below here that we didn't get a complete retest on this, right? Right here, we basically got here in a hurry and we waited. And now we're sitting on this bull market support that we typically don't break outside of black swan events. And you guys can see right now we're sitting right on that. We had a black swan event back here, largest liquidation event in crypto history, right? Back here, we had tons of things. We had Mt. Gox, we had war fears, we had, you guys get the point, right? And I'm not going to keep rambling on about that, but it's the same thing. We're doing the same thing over and over again. And yet people are expecting a different result. That's quite literally the definition of insanity. So I wanted to share that with people. Maybe things are different this time. Maybe we get a further drop, right? But what we're seeing is levels of resilience in terms of SHIB. Me personally, this is where I'm building positions. This is where I put so much capital in the market over the last week and a half that I am out of dry powder. I am all in. I am cash poor, crypto rich, right? Crypto rich. And I'm prepped for this move that comes next that we have seen take place time and time again. The question is are you thinking something different is going to take place, or are you prepared for what is likely to happen yet again? So I appreciate you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts below, but have a great day. Catch you guys in the next one. Take care.